What is up, my fudging legends? Today, we're not just talking about a team with a problem. We're talking about a club that has become the very definition of one. The gaping, terrifying, soul-crushing shiz show that is current Manchester United. A club that has managed to hit new lows last night in the Carabao Cup. An exit not just from a competition, but from the realm of basic competence. The performance against a team they, on paper, should have dismantled was an absolute feuding disgrace. It was a humiliating, systematic failure that laid bare every single painful flaw this club possesses.
Obviously, because they're playing Grimsby, League Two, bottom tier of the pyramid in professional football. Once you drop out of League Two, you're into what we call non-league, right? And then it can spiral down from there. Embarrassing isn't strong enough, is it? It's not. I can't swear on TV, but embarrassing isn't strong enough. Just awful. Absolutely awful.
Tough night. I just think in games of football like this, when you play lower league opposition, if you don't do the basics well, you're going to come unstuck. And in a game like tonight, you can talk to me about tactics and systems and formations. Just you had to do the basics well.
Prepared to do the basics. When he says my players spoke for me today, or spoke with the performance, he's saying what I think a lot of us thought watching it. There's a group of players that turned up tonight, and when they started that football match, did not fancy being anywhere near this game tonight.
But during the second half, we have this Man United manager on a tactics board, one of these little things with his coaches, right, looking like a right plonker, right, going like that. You know, you're playing Grimsby Town. And you're on a tactic, you need to go on a tactics board to figure out where the space is and how to beat them. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's utterly embarrassing. Even if you're a Man United fan, you must be sitting there thinking, this is a shambles. An absolute shambles from back to front, and the goalkeeper, the manager, what he says. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you.
They're not just underperforming. They are systemically, structurally, and unbelievably broken. And anyone trying to tell you otherwise is either deluded or hasn't watched a single minute of the absolute rubbish being churned out on that pitch. They were outplayed, outfought, and outcoached. Let's just get this out of the way. This isn't just a blip. This isn't just a rough patch. This is a pattern. A horrific, never-ending pattern of tactical ineptitude, individual errors, and a complete lack of any discernible identity. They are, frankly, rubbish.
Welcome to Fudging Football, where we don't shiz around, just straight-up football videos.
Their defense, in particular, was a spectacle of incompetence. Andre Onana, a keeper brought in for his distribution, made two egregious errors that gifted the opposition their goals. The backline looked like they had been thrown together just moments before kickoff, with defenders out of position and a complete absence of communication. It was a circus, and not the fun kind. More like the kind where the clowns are crying and the lions are laughing at them. The stats don't lie. They were out-tackled and out-hustled by a team that should have been no match for them physically. And the midfield. Oh, the midfield. This is where the real shiz begins. There's no control, no tempo, no ability to win the ball back consistently, or, when they do, to actually do anything meaningful with it. It's a black hole. Balls go in, and then they just disappear. Or worse, they end up at the feet of the opposition, setting up another counterattack that their flimsy defense has no hope of stopping. It's like watching a group of strangers trying to pass a ball in a hurricane.
And hey, make sure to fudging, like, subscribe, and hit that bell, or I'll know you didn't.
They had possession, sure, but it was sterile, meaningless possession that led to absolutely nothing. It's a fundamental problem that's been festering for years, and last night, it was exposed in the most embarrassing way possible.
There's a strong gap calling him a coward.
Yeah, but he is, Al. Like, I'm telling you now, I don't know any manager that would, for the whole penalty shootout, look away. You're the leader. When you score a penalty, you'd look over at your manager and be like, yes. And you look over and your manager's like got his head down like he's disgusted at his players. That's not leadership.
And then there's the attack, or what they call an attack. Where is the creativity? Where is the movement? Where is the decisive pass? It's all so static, so predictable. They had a staggering 28 shots and only managed to score 2 goals. That's a conversion rate that's a feuding joke. It's a sad indictment of a team that relies on hope, rather than a plan. It's boring, it's ineffective, and it's making every United fan want to punch their TV. This is the definition of shit. There's no other word for it. They couldn't break down a team from a lower division, a team with a fraction of their budget. It's truly unforgivable. The manager. Let's talk about the man in charge. Because if you're consistently seeing these same errors, these same tactical shortcomings, week after week, Carabao Cup exit after Carabao Cup exit, well, the buck has to stop somewhere, doesn't it? The team looks utterly devoid of confidence, belief, and frankly, any clear plan. It's like watching a chess master who suddenly forgot how the knights move. The manager himself was quoted saying the players were completely lost, and that the best team won. When a manager has to publicly air such damning criticisms, the dressing room is already in a state of crisis. It's a truly baffling shiz. The truth, the scary truth, is that Manchester United isn't just underperforming, they're fundamentally flawed. This isn't just about individual players not showing up. It's about a club that has lost its way, top to bottom. The culture is broken, the recruitment is questionable, the tactics are often bewildering, and the result? Consistent, undeniable rubbish. Think about the investment, the money spent, the wages. They've spent hundreds of millions on new players, and they still can't beat a team they should have been walking over. For this, for last night's feuding display, it's an insult to the fans who turn up week in, week out, hoping for a glimpse of the glory days. They're not just getting glimpses, they're getting nightmares. Beyond the money and the on-field shiz, there is a deeper, more horrifying problem. A psychological rot that seems to have infested the entire club. This isn't just a team that lacks talent, it's a team that lacks a soul. They lack leaders. When things go wrong, there is no one to stand up and demand more. There is no one to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. We saw it last night. When the opposition scored their first goal, instead of responding with fury, the entire team seemed to visibly deflate. It was a physical manifestation of a broken mentality. This is a team that has forgotten how to be winners. They don't have the arrogance or the fight that defined the great teams of the past. Their confidence is so fragile it could shatter from a misplaced pass. This isn't just bad luck. It's a culture of failure that has taken root and grown into a massive, poisonous weed. The players look scared, unsure of themselves, and completely lost. When the pressure mounts, they don't rise to the occasion. They shrink, they fold, and they hide. This is a feuding crisis of identity and belief. And this is where the comparison becomes even more damning. Look at clubs like Manchester City or Arsenal. They have a clear, unwavering philosophy that is implemented from the top down. Every manager, every player, and every academy graduate knows exactly what is expected of them. Their players are not just skilled, they are mentally conditioned to win. There is no room for mistakes, no time for self-doubt. That is the winning culture that is built over years of smart decisions and ruthless execution. Manchester United, in stark contrast, has lurched from one failed project to the next. From a defensive-minded coach to an idealistic manager, and now to a pragmatist, there is no consistent vision. It is a club with a legendary history but a completely directionless present. The Carabao Cup exit wasn't just a tactical failure. It was a symptom of a much deeper institutional disease. A disease that is slowly, agonizingly, and predictably eating this club alive. And until they address this foundational shit, this systemic rot, they will continue to be this utterly, miserably, and predictably rubbish. The question isn't whether they have a problem. The problem is a multi-headed hydra of systemic issues that no one seems capable of slaying. It's a deep-rooted infection that is spread throughout the club, from the boardroom to the boot room. And until they address these fundamental issues, until they stop plastering over cracks with expensive, underperforming signings, they will continue to be this utterly, miserably, predictably shit. So, what's the solution? Honestly, it feels like they need to tear it all down and start again. A complete reset. Because patching up this sinking ship with more broken parts isn't going to fix anything. It's just going to make it sink faster. The Carabao Cup exit wasn't just a loss. It was a screaming siren, a blaring alarm that this club is in critical condition. It's a feuding disgrace. And the scary truth is, it might get even worse before it gets better.